All right, Hot Ice, Tuesday, June 13th. Myself and Big Ev. Ev, they're already asking, man. They're coming for your neck. They're coming for your neck.
It's all I can think about. I haven't thought about anything else this morning. I just enough brain power to get picks for the show.
Is this the reveal? No. Pick Central,
No.
12 o'clock. That's
Pick
going to be the
Central,
reveal.
12.
So obviously check that out. Yeah,
air.
this guy knows. What else? No ring for me. Yeah, that's what I heard as well. So
the ringless boys.
That's how it goes.
Imagine not giving like Steve Kurtz the game winner, no ring.
Yeah, I love our audience and anyone really with Pick Central and different things like that. Like you talk about things, it's like, oh, you got something for baseball for me? What do you like today? Look at this savage. He loves Iowa. He's gonna pump it on whatever show he can to get the comments. So shout out to you, Ben. That's great. But we are here to talk baseball real quick. The A's, 6 straight for the Oakland A's. I don't know what that money line would have been. I don't know what it would have been if you rolled it over. I imagine a lot.
I mean, they were like I think the lowest they were. I actually spread it on like a couple of times. The lowest thing that were in that span was probably like 155-ish. And they had a couple where they were like plus like 250, 230. They had one like I think last night they were like 220, 230. Definitely a few in there. They're like 240. I think they only had one sprinkle in there, maybe like a 260, 270. But I mean, if you were betting on this 6, I mean, you absolutely smashed.
Insane. Yeah, we had them all. Remember that night? I think it was the Pirates. We had them all, and we watched that game. We talked about
it. They blew it. They fucking blew it.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but it's baseball. You know, no matter what, they're going to go on a 6-game tear. Now, it's still remarkable because they are horrific, but you did know that they were going to rattle off these wins. Like, that's why people are talking about 35. Like, there's no way. There's just no way it's 35. I think they get closer to 50.
They'll get over 40 for sure.
Yeah, and that's really, really bad. But
honestly, how long till we start like giving the Royals that crown?
Yes.
They are. I think now they officially have a worse record, correct? Or at least tied.
It's real close.
Like the Royals are horrific. And they at least have a little more talent. Like they have some young talent on the roster. Like Bobby.
And it's kind of sad because it's like
Massey. Like Massey's not bad. Like Prado.
Well, I mean, even last night,
Patino as like they've got some decent guys.
Yeah, we like Vinny. We definitely like
young
Vinny.
Guys.
We were a Royals podcast last year. We love Vinny. Royals 18-48, Oakland 18-50.
All right, so they're right there. The
by winning percentage, yeah, they have better winning.
Essentially a game back.
They're really bad, and it's like just Outcast Island. Like they got Greinke over there, you know, and he looks like he's checked out. Like, you don't know that
he threw well yesterday.
I know, but he's always kind of had issues. But look at his numbers; they're horrific.
Yeah, but it's like what's got like a 4 ERA probably. Horrific.
Let's see stats.
I want to say it's like low 4s.
It's high 4.65. He's 1
okay. I mean, obviously not great, but I mean, I guess not like horrible, but I mean not great. Obviously, standards.
12 homers, 39 runs in 71 innings. Like like a guy like Salvador Perez is still a name. Like it's just kind of, it's just weird. It's Royals. I don't know. It is what it is. But the A's are on a tear. So I think that's the thing. Get off the A's and start fading the Royals because they're just as bad and the lines affect it. But
the Royals the Royals, they don't give them the same like disrespect on paper. Like the A's are always huge dogs. The Royals, like they have been, but they were like today they're yesterday they were like a pick'em. Today they're like a pick'em slight favorite. Like they're like minus like 115, 120, and then they have a good pitcher on the mound. Like Vegas gives them much more respect than they give to the A's.
Which is weird. I mean, that kind of ties into – so it's the second headline, but also we can segue it to Dog of the Day. I'm on the Reds plus 100, and I also would probably sprinkle the Reds minus 1.5 as plus 165. This Royals team we talked about, they're bad. They're bad. Get in front of this team as much as you can with plus signs. I imagine the Reds are on your card as well?
For sure. They're on the card. I honestly, my 3 picks, I have 3 dogs. I'll give the biggest dog for the Dog of the Day. It's the Yankees. I mean,
okay.
Listen, I know we're banged up right now with Judge. Like, it honestly is amazing how much I give him. As a fan, obviously I suck the guy off all the time, but it truly, like, just watching this team play baseball. I don't want to say something like crazy, but he just has such an impact for a single position player. I just feel he is one of the bigger impacts in the game, like, period. Like, you just see the way they have to pitch the lineup when he's there. Like, I think just even his leadership too. Like, he's like the confidence he gives the rest of the team. I don't know. There's something like, obviously he's a huge bat, good fielder. He's one of the best players in the league, obviously. But you just feel such a big difference compared to like a single position player. I feel like in other teams, he just makes an impact. But
yeah, he can take a runaway too, man. I mean, I wouldn't just say good field. I mean, cannon of an arm, like really, really good out there in right field. So.
But still, we have had some guys like Willie, like these guys kind of like, that's one thing that Cashman, like, he has got shit on the line, in some ways rightfully so, but he's sneaky had some guys over the years, they just kind of like grab him up the shit pile here and there. They come in like Willie Colon's hit a little bit, and some guys like that, like, just come in and just get some hits and make some things happen when they need them. So hopefully that happens tonight. I mean, obviously the Mets have been in shambles. I mean, you're going to give me plus 130 against the Mets with the Yankees. I'm going to take it.
Yeah. That hits the other kind of headline. So I did want to talk about the Reds. 3.5 back last night, pulled one out of their ass. Went ahead, gave it up, pulled it back out. I love this team. We talked about a Strand coming back up. The price is down to like 8 now, or $7.50. Holding that 17. It's going to be a little difficult at the deadline because I do think they need another pitcher or maybe another bat, and they cannot give away any of this core. I don't know how many more prospects they have on the back end, but the Central, I don't really trust anybody in the Central, So I think this is going to come right down to it. It's kind of fun to root for the Reds. Young team. De La Cruz is a star on the rise. Strand has hit 1 million homers in AA, AAA. Like, this team can really, really get it going. So the Reds have been a lot of fun. I guess, is there anybody else that you think is worth looking at like that with the Reds? Or anybody kind of in the some people in the comments have kind of looked at. It's one of those things you see it when you know it. So, we're always looking for that. I guess just file that away. But
I mean, honestly, I guess the one I would say probably looking at a team in like the probably the AL Central, like, it's just so shitty.
Right.
Like, you look at like there's like somebody down there. Like,
Brandon touched on it. Like, the White Sox can't possibly be this bad, right?
They were that bad last year, but I mean,
that's a good point too. You got Diaz's brother.
No, I think the Reds are in a position to hang around long term. That I agree for sure.
I do.
At least in that division. Like, I don't.
For sure.
Obviously they're going to be a couple years where we're making a deep playoff push, I'd imagine. But I mean, they've got some serious young talent there. Obviously, everyone's seen that now and appreciate it. Probably some lower teams in the NL Central. I mean, the Tigers are god awful. What are they, like, 5 out?
5 out, 10 games on 500.
I'm not even saying bet the Tigers. I'm just saying that division is such a shithole, such a shit show right now. Like pick a plus team and like see what happens. Like they like the White Sox aren't a bad look. Like the teams like they're just horrific. Even like the Guardians. Like if you want to like get like
they're only 1.5. You're right. So I think maybe wait till they drop 3 or 4 and day trade it. You're right, but I think I think both Centrals are up for grabs. So it makes sense. The last headline I had, it's kind of hometown, but I do think it encapsulates like baseball. People will tune into that or at least take a look. The Subway Series has no pop.
Nah.
None. And I really do think that putting the 2 games in the middle of the week hurts. Putting 2 here and then putting 2, like, I don't know if they're on the weekend again. I think they're around the 4th of July. But do it over a weekend maybe and do 4 straight. Is that too crazy to do? Like you lose. It's not that much travel. The teams stink. I don't know. It's been a while since this one just kind of doesn't have any pop. No Sunday night baseball, like middle of the week, 2 games. Just absolutely no pop.
Well, I mean, it's the Mets are just dead. It's the Mets are dead and the Yankees are just hurt. So like the Yankees star power is just not like there's not in the lineup right now. So I mean, I think it's a combination of both those. I mean, I would love to see them if they did like a full like a Thursday to Sunday, like end with like Sunday Night Baseball. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I'm not even like that gassed up about it because
I'm not either. I'm kind of like I'll watch it obviously, but I'm gonna be like whatever about it.
And again, like I really do hate the Yankees, but you guys don't have a lot of hateable guys. I've really backed off. Maybe I'm getting soft. We say it all the time. Like I respect Judge. He's a pro. There's nothing I can really make fun of him about. I don't know. I think you guys are carved differently where there's not a lot of like hatred.
Well, I mean, also just being bluntly honest with my team, this team hasn't won anything.
Right.
So like, there's no like, that's the God's honest truth. Like it's hard to like hate on a team who like doesn't like really win unless they're like just total assholes, and they're not assholes.
Yeah, and I think like who do you even get gassed up to hate? Alonso, and he's out. So it's
cause that's me just like talking shit. Like I don't even actually like hate the guy. I just think
I think he's I think a lot of people just think he's corny, which I
think he's corny. I think he's kind of like soft. Corny fits the description. Like he's just. But like, there's no one I really like hate on the Mets. Like, see, the Mets have never like the most I've hated the Mets has been in this office because I've been surrounded by Mets fans. In most of my life I was not. I said this before. I grew up around mostly Yankee fans.
Right.
So, like I never even when I was younger, I never had this like deep hatred for the Mets as a kid. I never saw them as like a rival.
Yeah, we never won anything. That's accurate.
Yankees don't suck. Take it easy, Blakey. check 10 games above 500, pal.
He got 3 out of 4. Blakey, hey, listen. Blake's
no Judge, no Alonso, no Budge is correct.
Blake's sharp. Getting 3 out of 4 is fair.
No, he's not. Blakey Locks isn't wrong.
There's
definitely no buzz.
Best bet, I am going to go with the Twins minus the 120. So this is like I need the Reds to win, and I'm always going to bet the Reds now that I love them. I'm also putting all my eggs in one basket because I need the Brewers to lose. So fade the Brewers is kind of a double dip. But Corbin Burns has not been great. And the Twins are scoring 5 runs a game in their last 4 games. 6, 9, 3, and 2. So and getting better. So I like the Twins here. Minus the 120 is where it's at right now. What do you have in terms of best bet? Yankees?
So I gave that for the dog. I pretty much have 2. The one I'm really giving honestly is the Reds, and it's truly like I know we've been really just like hammering this Reds thing, but you said it before that Kansas City's horrific. They have Lyles on the mound who's been horrific, like +6 ERA. Now, look, the Reds aren't throwing anyone special. I think there's a big runs game. I think an overs play here as well. I like the over, but if you're gonna give, I just think the Reds are that much better at this point. If you're gonna be even up plus 100 on the Reds, to me that's a no-brainer. I like the D-backs as well. They're plus money, but the Reds are the best bet.
Listen, we talked about it, and I don't think I don't watch everything. I'll be honest, but we watch enough, and I think there's enough access out there, especially with the packages and stuff like that. Reverse protesting in Oakland tonight. That is a good point. You can get enough with just watch first pitch. Or what is that? What's the morning show on MLB Network?
I think first pitcher high heat.
What's the one with the highlights around? It's like around the majors, and they just whip around and give you the highlights every morning. That's like you can get a lot out of that. You can learn into teams. Like again, I'm not saying we're experts and we've been wrong on a lot of stuff, but we were on the Diamondbacks pretty early. Look how that worked out. Extra innings. That's the package, whatever that show is on MLB. But everyone knows the one I'm talking about. Quick pitch. Thank you very much. That's the one that whips around. I couldn't think of the name. Like we were pretty high on the Diamondbacks early. Look how that turned out. I think you had mentioned the Rangers were kind of respectable last year.
They came on late, and they were a team that I'd circled early this year just because they spent a lot of money. Like Simeon and Seager had such bad starts. They kind of came into their own the end of last year. Then obviously this year they've been fucking. They've the best. They've scored the most runs in the league. They've been unbelievable.
Even just if you pick a team randomly and watch late, and you're like, man, that bullpen's horrible, and you can just pigeonhole like, hey, you know what? The Orioles have a horrific like bullpen. I'm going to start firing live if they're up. I just think you can gain a lot of info and you can learn a lot with these teams, and that's where you can kind of really fall in love and find the value. And it doesn't have to be all of them, but just maybe pick one division. You can get a lot of that info with baseball, and it's kind of been beneficial to us, you know.
Or it was just like a tough ricochet shot there.
What do you mean?
You said,
Orioles. Well, listen, I wasn't gonna pick. I mean, we know the Mets bullpen's bad. Like, you know, you can. I was saying
they love that Batista guy because he comes out to the wire music.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, they're fine. Hit parade. I'm gonna give you Mauricio Dubon for the Astros. I think the Astros get some runs. He's been on a tear, a lot of multiple hits. I think Dubon is my guy. Carl's putting in Christian Walker. It's a name you might not recognize. So the text we got was random, but he's 6 of 14 off a Wheeler in his career. So I think that jacks up the price. We like that too. Look at hit rates. That's how we've always picked up a lot of things. Reds -1.5 is plus 165. Lyles is terrible. We like that as well. Who's the third guy you're putting into the hit parade?
And just go off Walker. He's 6'14", but he's the guy in the middle. He's in the middle of that Diamondbacks lineup, 4 or 5 hitter. Would Carroll, those guys in front of him, good opportunity to drive in runs. That's I mean, Lyles 0-10. Like it's a no to me. It's
I like this. I like this. That's a good stat.
It's one of those. To me, this is a no-brainer best bet. Like if they lose, they lose. Like God bless.
Right. It almost like, are we missing something? He's 0-10. They've lost every game by 2 runs. Are we missing something?
It's because they still think the Reds stink on paper.
They do, right? Okay.
Yesterday you said it was a pick'em game as well.
Yeah.
They just don't. They just think the Reds are better than they are. They don't think the Reds are very good.
Right.
So and we'll keep eating off that. But for the hit parade, Mookie Betts.
Yep.
Good players hit. Good players get hits.
So yeah, that's listen, it's already middle of June, a lot of games being played, like the All-Star breaks right around us. It feels like, enjoy it while you can. I mean, I know football creeps up and moves it to the base, but there's still a lot of storylines. I think there's a lot of fun in these teams, a lot of value in these different divisions. It's not just the typical, look, the Dodgers are struggling a little bit, the Astros are struggling. I think we get a new kind of champion. I think we get some new blood in the playoffs, like we saw last year with the Mariners and different stuff like that. So that's always fun to keep an eye on. That's Hot Ice Bet the Hit Parade. Pick Central up next. Probably Big Ev's worst show of his life. He could go 10-0, but it's his worst show of his life. So tune into that. We'll see you on Thursday.